Sunshine. Today we're making Oreo cookies from scratch. How cool is that? We're going to start with half a cup of room temperature butter and half a cup of sugar and put them in the mixer. Into this, we add a quarter of a cup of corn syrup, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a quarter of a teaspoon of kosher salt, and a quarter to a half a teaspoon of coconut extract. I'm going to use a half a teaspoon just because I like things that taste like coconut. Now we're going to mix this until it's light and fluffy. Next we're going to take 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour and 1/3 plus 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, and we're going to sift that together. It is very handy to do this just over a piece of parchment paper so you can easily lift it and stick it into the mixing bowl. Make sure you press all of the cocoa powder through the sieve. Ta-da! I hope you noticed that while we were mixing, the dough looked like it was never going to come together. In fact, I turned around and looked at the ingredient list because I was sure I'd forgotten some liquid ingredient. But no, if you give it enough time, it comes together into a stiff dough. Now we're going to roll it out, cut it, stamp it, and bake it. Once you've divided the dough into 2 pieces, you're going to take a little bit of cocoa powder and you're going to dust your surface. So I'm just going to put a little bit in. We're going to roll it into cocoa powder instead of using flour. As you can see, I have 2 paint sticks from the hardware store that I just roll my rolling pin against to make sure that it has the same, that all the dough comes out in the same thickness. I'm going to use a small, probably 1.5 inch, 1.25 cutter to make as many cookies as I can. We've rolled them to a 1/4 inch thickness. Now these are not going to spread very much, so you can put them pretty close on your cookie sheet. One of the ways to make these look more like store-bought cookies is to have a rolling pin that has a texture on it, which I don't have. So we're going to try and use a little rubber stamp that I happen to have that says, "Hello Sunshine." How perfect is that? And it's never been used, so we're just going to stamp one of these into each of the cookies. And do an impression. I'm going to take these out and put them directly onto a wire rack so that the bottoms are dry out and they're nice and crisp. What's nice is that the impression stayed inside the cookie. Our cookies are all baked and cooled, so now it's time to make the filling. We are going to take 6 ounces of butter and melt it. So into the stand mixer, we are going to put our 6 ounces of melted butter, a teaspoon of real vanilla, pure vanilla extract. Since this is not going to be cooked, it's better to use a pure vanilla for this instead of imitation. A tiny pinch of salt. This, by the way, is delicious salt. And 2 cups of powdered sugar. Once that's all incorporated, we're going to smush this around and put it on medium until it's light and fluffy. Because the butter is melted when we first start, this looks like it's all going to be, it looks like it's never going to come together. But this is what it looks like when it's, after about 5 minutes of letting it come up to a nice fluffy consistency. One way to fill these cookies and make sure that you're putting the unembossed side in the middle, on the inside, is to take a little bit of icing just put the top on it and give it a little press. There we go. These are our Oreo cookies from scratch. Let's take a taste. I don't know which one to pick. Let's pick this one. It looks almost like a real Oreo. Now, we all know the right way to eat an Oreo is to twist it, lick off the cream, and then eat the cookie. It tastes just like a store-bought Oreo. It's amazing. Isn't it funny that the thing which makes an Oreo taste like an Oreo is a little bit of coconut extract? Who would have known? These are fun and easy to make. Enjoy!